And so the next step is my secret hack. And this is really going to be the longest part of the webinar because there's so many things that you have to do. And I really want to walk you through it so you can actually see for yourself. So the first question I want to know is, do you have a HubSpot account or an email marketing account?
Yes, I've used Constant Contact before, but you know what? I tried HubSpot and I'm send it out to people behind the wall, and some of them bounce back. So
Okay.
HubSpot was like, you didn't get their permission. Yes, I did. They signed up. They wanted to hear from me.
Right.
But I tried to explain, a prison has firewalls. They weren't trying to hear it. I'm like, okay.
Right.
I ran into that. So I said, okay, forget y'all HubSpot. It's a whole lot of other places out here. I ain't got to mess with y'all. But
yeah, so as long as you got an email marketing platform, I just use HubSpot for this one.
okay.
Does your email marketing platform allow you to upload what would you what's the name files?
Oh, the CV something.
Yeah, the CVS. Okay, spreadsheet files. Okay, that's great. So then we don't have to break down walking you through the steps of opening your HubSpot account. Now let's get into the secret hack, and it's crazy because how I came across this is just really trying to find the correctional people in my area that I can pitch my program to. And before I used to do music, I used to be a rapper. In my area, I was really known for rapping. People still ask me to this day, am I gonna go back to rap and stuff like that? But I used to be a rapper. And one of my things I used to do when I was rapping, when social media first came out, like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, what I used to do is I would literally DM everybody my music or post on their walls just before they had ads and everything else. So throughout the day and a lot of my free time, or when I'm not doing nothing, that's what I would do. I would send out hundreds and hundreds of messages and post on hundreds and thousands of people wall and tweet, and that's what I used to do. And so what I did was I took that, I transformed that same hack, but I used it on LinkedIn. But what I found out by doing this on LinkedIn is that, for one, they flag you. But for two, is that I didn't want to send out a actual DM, keep going over DM. So I was trying to figure out, like, man, I got this HubSpot account. I can send out email blasts. How if I can get all these emails of all my contacts and send all them email blast of my program and stuff like that, that'd be great. But how can I get the email address? And then I'm like, man, so I started going to their profiles and I started seeing they had the email address. So now I'm like, now I got to manually upload these into my CRM to send out an email blast. Is going to be for a while. But then I found out that you can actually download the data of your LinkedIn into a spreadsheet. So if you go to your LinkedIn account, let me screen share real quick. I'm gonna do another screen share and show you.
Okay.
So yeah. Okay, did my LinkedIn pop up?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, so if you go to your settings in your settings and privacies on your LinkedIn, you can go down here to data privacy. And then it says get a copy of your data. And right up underneath it, it says you can either download all the archives, the connections, contacts, account history, information like that, or you can go down here and pick something in particular. Like you can download your connects, your invitations, importer contacts, recommendation, and then you click request the archive. And in about 10 minutes, you can come back here and it'll send you, you'll be able to download the archive. So when you download that archive, what happens is it comes out as a spreadsheet. So in a spreadsheet, all your contacts, and if they have the email address, you get their email address. And then you upload.
Oh my goodness. Can you go back to that for 1 second? I just looked up. I missed some. Yeah, the actual download, the thing they sent.
Yeah. So yeah, you go to your settings.
Okay.
And when you go to your settings, you'll go to data privacy.
Data privacy, okay.
And then you'll see how LinkedIn uses your data. And you can manage it, but you want to get a copy of your data. And so when you click on get a copy of your data, it'll go to export your data, and then it'll have a list. It can say you can download everything, or if you want to download something in particular. So you want to get all the data information on your contacts, your connections, and invitations. So if you send out invitations to someone, you want to get them too. And if you got imported contacts, you might want to add them as well. And then any recommendations. And so what happens once you click to download it, it's going to say request pending. It usually takes about 10 minutes. And so in 10 minutes, you'll be able to come back and do the same steps. But when you go to export your data, it'll say you're able to archive ready. And then you click that and it'll download. And so I'm gonna show you when it pops back up. It takes like 10 minutes. And so you can what happens is you can upload, you open it up, it'll turn into a spreadsheet.
Nice. Okay.
And that spreadsheet, it'll have the name, add the name, first and last name, it'll have the occupation. If they have their phone number, they have their phone number on there. And if they have the email, it'll have their email. Now, some of them will have their account set to where the email address won't download with the data. So this is where the work comes in. Then you have to go to each one of the contacts that you don't have the email address for. You just keep your spreadsheet open and you just look at the name. You go to the LinkedIn account, you click on their profile, and you hit contact info, and then it had an email address. And then like for example, if I go let's go see. So like if somebody's connected with me and they go to my account, they will go, if it pops, when it pops up, go get my contact, then go to contact info, click contact info, and then they have everything about my contact. They pull up, they have my name, email address, my LinkedIn information, and all that. A little bit slow now, but right there, so that's all that.
Okay.
Email, website, LinkedIn, phone number. So if it doesn't pop up in your spreadsheet already, you just look at the name, type the name into the profile, go copy, paste the email address.
Okay. But that's still a lot less than doing your whole list. It was just a few. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot less doing your whole list. So, but what you also can do, you can separate it in titles. So everybody on my connection list is not wardens. They're not FBOP wardens or reentry coordinators or program coordinators or chaplains. So when I upload my list, and those, I look for email addresses, I look for specific people in that field.
Okay.
That's tied to corrections. You have wardens, assistant wardens, program directors, reentry coordinators, counselors, caseworkers, unit managers.
Okay.
Anything that's in corrections, the state prison, federal prison, county jails. You can get sheriffs, you can get captains of county jails, majors, You want juvenile detention program. They got reentry program directors for juvenile detention and prison. Anything that you see that has reentry, they involved in reentry. So this is where how you build up your contact list. Now you start looking for the reentry people in your area as far as prisons. Because this is how I started. I started looking on all the prisons and the wardens and everything around me. I know LinkedIn is, I won't look for them on Facebook. I won't look for them on Instagram. I'm looking for them on LinkedIn because LinkedIn is the #1 business social media site that there is. Everybody that's on LinkedIn is on here almost about their business, entrepreneurship or their business. You don't really see no spam or nothing like that on Instagram. I mean, on LinkedIn is you see business and successful people doing things. So I said, let me find all the warden stuff in my area. So I just started looking in Missouri Department of Corrections, everybody that was associated for Missouri Department of Corrections. Start adding them on LinkedIn. Then I'm in the Nebraska area. So I looked at everybody in the Nebraska Department of Correction, Nebraska County Jails, and started adding them on LinkedIn. So I'm building up my connections. Because if I'm building up my connections, when I go back to request another archive, I'm going to be building up my contact list.
Nice. Okay.
So when I was getting speaking gigs, going into prisons and speaking, I would add all the people. Like when I went to New Jersey, I started looking up people that was working in New Jersey Department of Corrections, and I just started adding them on LinkedIn. It's to connect, but my overall purpose is to get you to connect so I can get the contact info so I can add you to my email blast.
Okay.
And so that's the first hack on getting the emails and the process of getting the data. So I'm gonna go back to data right now to see if it's ready for download. Okay, so it's still going. So yeah, but it'll be ready to go to download, and then it'll open. Like I said, it'll open up in the spreadsheet. So when you open it up, this is what it look like. Let's see.
Okay.
So this is what it look like right here when you open it up. This what when you download it, that's what it's going to have. Just all that right there.
Nice. Okay. Okay. That is so nice and neat. I can go through there and look. Oh, this is great. How did you find that?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. So this is, can you see the, can you, I got to bring it back up.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. Yeah. I got to bring it back up. So we was on the spreadsheet, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's where I lost you. Okay. So we're gonna bring up the spreadsheet. So when you download that file, this is what's gonna come up right here. You see the spreadsheet?
Yes.
All right. So every contact in there, you're gonna get the spreadsheet with the email address. As you see, like right here, I got New Jersey Reentry Corporation, the director, Gold Reentry Specialist, executive director. Because these people be having programs inside of prisons, or they got the programs, but they don't know how to get inside the prisons, or they need a reentry coach or consultant to run the programs, to come with their own programs and run them inside the prison. Director of Diversion of Reentry in New York, the address, youth citizen, Commonwealth Kentucky Division of Reentry. I got correctional captain, youth development specialist, program managers, reentry coordinator, head of training and consultant, the reentry director, reentry attorney. You go. We got unit managers, deputy wardens. There's so many different people, but they're all coming off your LinkedIn. Some come with email address, and you got to find some.
Okay.
But that's the work of finding some. Like I just got 2,200 new ones just the other day. This is part of the new ones that I had, 2,200, and I probably got to manually put 700 of them in.
Okay.
But out the 1,300, but if I take a couple hours out the day, I can do at least 200. So it shouldn't take me no more than a week to put these 700 in. But that's good because I can send out 1,000 email blasts this week, then upload the 700 and come out next week and send the 700 the same email blast.
Yes.
And the email blast.
Okay, I'm sorry. Do your emails bounce back? Do a lot of them bounce back?
No, so let's go. I'm gonna go to my conversions over here. So let's see my email. I sent the email out. That's 700 of them, 750 out. So this was out earlier this week. Let's bring it down. So right now I got an open rate of 19%. Only 1% are unsubscribed. You know, a click rate of 2.13% and a click-through rate of 11%. So that's 705 recipients that I sent out. And them are just some that I added up. I still got to add some more on there to it. 70% of them read it, 30% skimmed through, 0 glance. Out of 12 hard bounces, 18 of them bounce, and once a spam report out of 705, and 27 not sent because it might be bad email address or something.
Okay.
So
do you have you got a paid HubSpot account?
No, I don't have a paid. I don't have a paid HubSpot account.
Okay. Wow.
And so you're saying out of 705, 650 of them went through.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, everybody don't check their email addresses every day. So that's the next step. That's the importance of getting phone numbers, because now you can send out a text blast.
Okay.
Because a lot of people, like, I'm going to read it and see a text before I see my emails. I might check my email at the end of the day, or some people don't check their emails once or twice a week.
Nice. Nice.
And so that's when you send out the email blast, and then as you send out the email blast, you're just marketing and promoting. And so that's one of the hacks. So another hack that I came up with, and this is actually how I got this way right here is how I got the virtual side. This way right here, I'm going to tell you, is how I got the physical side. But I'm checking my data again to see if it's ready for download. See, okay, so right here it says download archive. So my archive is ready. So now once your archive ready, you just download it, and then when you upload it, it's going to turn into the spreadsheet. It's going to turn into that. So let's see. I just download it. Download basic. It's going to say basic LinkedIn data. So then you just open it up. It's going to have your connections. Do you want to see your connection? Do you want to see your contacts? Do you want to see your invitations or recommendations? Let's say contacts. So I'll bring up the contacts, and then it's open into the spreadsheet. just like that. And then you scroll down through them, and all these is mobile. So you can go to your connections as well in your folder, because if you click more than one, you're gonna have different ones. However many you click in the folder. So you go to your connections and click that one, and it's gonna open up your connection spreadsheet. So you can do a contact spreadsheet, a connections spreadsheet, a recommendation spreadsheet, and archive spreadsheet if you want one, and exports your data. And so yeah, that's the hack on. That's what I call the LinkedIn contact hustle. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because you can get the email addresses. Yes. You just if it doesn't upload, you just got to go out there and hustle them up, copy and paste. You're just going to copy and paste for a while, but you want them email addresses because it's going to get you right. That's a direct line to a warden, a direct line to an assistant warden. You're going to have they .gov account or whatever their state is. You're going to have all that account. And they do answer emails. If your program is your outline and your logistics, your digital outline and curriculum and logistics put together, and it catches their attention, they will email you back, and they will want to know more about the program. And that's when you send out the outline and the logistics of the program. My second hack I call is the Department of Correction hack. And site. And so what that does is, like, you go to, what's your state?
I'm in New York.
Okay, so we go New York, Department of, wait a minute, it says mute. No. New York Department of Correction. And they should have a website. There it is right there. You go to their website. A lot of people want to use their facilities as a religion program, a faith-based. So when you have faith-based program, you usually want to shoot all them programs to the chaplain. You really don't want to go through the warden and things. You want to shoot for the chaplain first, because he's the one that's going to be able to open the door for you to come in, and he handles all the religion affair. And he's going to want to be able to open the door, because I know a dude that I knew from the streets. He got a program. It's called Rise Up, and he does it faith-based. And he's in a lot of prison in Missouri because he goes through the chaplain.
Okay.
And it's in the chaplains. It's easier to get through with the chaplain.
Nice.
And so what you do when you go to your Department of Corrections website, you go there, you look up, you go to the out sections, and what you're looking for is places that say bidding, or you're looking for volunteers. And so usually, it's the first time I've been on this website, so you got to really just got reentry. You just go through everything. And you can go places like the partnerships. You might find them in Missouri. They had a specific spot where it was like you go to the bid. Now I got my program in the bidding was I went to the Missouri Department of Correction website, and then I searched for bidding, and then it had some other contract work. So I emailed, so that was bidding. And so I emailed the lady and said, I'm trying to figure out how. So right here, you would so it's going to say, let's say the volunteer. Because sometimes to get your program in there, you got to slide in as a volunteer. Yeah. And it gives you, I got this program, and then we like to put it inside your prisons, and they're like, yeah, you want to volunteer? It's like, yeah, I volunteer. And then your program becomes good then you can come back to the table, and you got a lot, like my program on the inside reentry, it got a lot of traction. And so basically because of my story. And then after the first class, a lot of people was going out like, man, I got to get in Mr. Sims class. And then when I'm walking through the campus, they see how I'm dressed and with the Nikes on, you know what I'm saying? Like they always compliment my shoes and stuff like that. And so even the people that ain't in my class, I built a relationship. So my class started to become, people started a long sign-up list. So now they want it. And so we was able to go back and negotiate the contract. And so like in New York, you go to the volunteer services, and you got the contact, and it gives you the a phone number, so you can contact that phone number and say, yeah, I'm such and such, and give them your spiel, give them your elevator pitch, and say you want to go to the say you want to go to find the chaplains and the heads of the prisons. So now you want to find facilities. Let's go to facilities. In facilities, you should have it should be a map. Okay, there you go. So you got a map. Well, yeah, New York is a little bit different than Missouri. So you find a facility, but when you find facilities, it should have information of two people in the facility. It'll say wardens, or it'll say the chaplain, and it'll have an email address for them.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Just get in there and dig. Yeah, you gotta get in there.
Like this facility here. So this is this facility right here. You got the overview, got programs. Then it's gonna have this visitation. They got an audit report. So let's go. Let's say programs. So this audit program. So usually it'll have their information, either who runs the program or stuff like that. So this is the number to it right there. It gives you a phone number. So now it'd be your choice to get the phone number and call and see who you need to contact with in certain departments. Get an address or things like that. So like if you go to Missouri, they give you it all. I'm talking about you.
Yeah, New York ain't like that.
So Missouri, you got facilities, all, and see they give you they see how it's all this is mapped out. So then you can go to warden listing, gives you all the wardens.
Wow.
See that, everything like that. And then when you go to the when you go to the actual prisons, it's like if you go to their website, it'll give you the warden's name and everything.
Okay.
Not the warden, but the chaplain of that prison. So let's see. It gives you the director. This is and Precise is the director. So if you want to go to the director of the prisons, all you got to do is look her up, send her an email. It gives you. They break down. They do it all. Yeah, they're gonna tell you everything that's in the prisons, and it's like that in Texas too, because I had somebody from Texas that I helped get theirs. And so yeah, it's basically you go to the Department of Corrections website and you looking for volunteers. You're looking for anything that has to do with if they got any bidding, because they'll put a bid up in the on the website to where you, and some of the bids be a bid for reentry program. We got to bid up for reentry program, or we got to bid up looking for like new food contractor or windows or something like that. But they always have a place where they looking for bids, and things like that. And so yeah, you look for them type of things, and then you just look for the email or the phone number.
Okay. Nice. This is great. I got pages of notes over here. This is good.
And so yeah, so that's how you do it on the Department of Corrections site. And so reason why it's good to know that and use them, because them two things I use, because now you got a virtual side, so now you ain't limited to just that state that you're in physically.
Yeah.
So now let's say you want to reach out to Arizona. You go to LinkedIn contact, you type in Arizona Department of Corrections. Start sending out invitations to everybody that you feel like is going to be a good fit for your email blast.
Nice.
Once they connect, you do it for about 2 weeks of doing it, and you get a lot of new connects. Download your data, and the data where the email addresses don't upload, go just type in their name and account, because you got the list right there. You see the name? Oh, let me type in the name, see if they got the email up. The email's up. Copy and paste it to your list before you upload it to your email marketing system. Then once you get your email marketing system, you take everybody that's in the wardens and in the correctional institutions, and then you make a separate list of them. So that way, anytime you want to go and send out an email blast to do with your reentry program, you just grab that list. But you're going to make that list keep growing.
Okay.
Because you can do state after state after state after state. Like now, it's to the point where I just go state by state, adding people that's in the Department of Corrections. Are they in the county jails? Or are they in reentry? Things of that nature. To connect, but my underline is to get you in my contact list. In my email list is exactly, because if LinkedIn shut down tomorrow, I got your email list.
Yes.
I got your email.
Do you work with the federal system too much?
I've been on last year I was on a federal contract. It just expired a few months ago, where I was going into the federal prison. So I got tied in with the federal government reentry lady, Ms. Don Farley. And so I got her email address on the accident. She accidentally sent me an email and it was supposed to be for somebody else. And so I got it, yeah. And then I got after I spoke in a few prisons and got a lot of basically praise, he do the contracting. He added me on LinkedIn, and he was talking to me because he was going to retire, and he was letting me know who the new person coming up to be to handle the contracts and stuff like that.
Okay.
And that's another thing. When you send out the email blast, even though some of the people you might send it to, they're gonna hit you back and be like, "Oh, I'm not the one to get in contact with, but this is who you need to contact."
Okay.
And they're gonna give you a reference email, or some of them will say, "Oh, I'm not in office right now, but please contact this person," and they give you their email address and number. Now you got your whole nother new contact.
Okay.
And then you work in different contacts in the same area in the same site. So if it's like 3 or 4 people in one prison in Arizona that I sent the email blast out to, because I'm working all of them. One of y'all got to be it. One of y'all gonna draw an interest in it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then that's when the email comes back. Then that's where the conversation starts. That's when the next part comes up. So you got the hack, and you done sent out the email blast about your program, and then they start responding. Now we back to the communication and your content.